Hey, it's Live 101.5, your morning mess, Valley of the Sun. It's time to wake up. We do have your hookup to go to L.A. for Rolling Loud. We're talking about Peso Pluma's going to be there, YG 400. Who else is going to be there?
ASAP Rocky or whatever happens during his court case. We'll see how that plays out.
But we got a little trip for you to get down to L.A. That's happening after 7 o'clock. How you doing? It's your guy, Joey Boy.
It's JD.
And it's Sienna.
Opening up the phone lines, 833-730-6377. I don't want to call it an anniversary, but it's 5 years, which is crazy since the pandemic. Think about right now, that pandemic was happening. We didn't know about it until about March, and then the whole world shut down. And I was thinking, as I'm trying to make some side money nowadays, I sure wish, now this is the subject is, what's your pandemic regret? I wish during that whole year we were shut down, I learned how to DJ. I think it's an art form. It's something you can make some extra money, Cien's.
I'm trying to picture you as a DJ, though.
Now, here's the thing. I know how to rock a mic. I can rock clubs. That's easy for me to do. And these promoters and club owners, they love a DJ that can also rock the mic because now you're only paying for one person.
True.
I could make so much money that it would be an easy thing. Like if I were JD knows how to DJ. Dude, I'd be pimping myself all day. I'd do 2 or 3 gigs and make an extra easily $1,000 a week.
Yeah, DJing is so easy.
It's so easy.
It's so
You
simple.
just press play, right?
Yeah, it's just press play and pause,
buttons, yeah.
start and stop.
Well, I feel like a year I would have been decent enough to open for these headliners out here. And I just didn't do it. I did not. That's my regret, that I didn't learn another trade to make extra money. And I was doing some research. Let's play the game. How much do you think Pauly D makes for a DJ gig?
Oh, man.
Just one gig?
One gig. Every time you see Pauly, he's always in Scottsdale, by the way. He loves it here. How much does Pauly make a set?
I think he still is in that at least 100,000 a show.
Oh, I was going to say 50. 100?
Oh, yeah.
It's between 40 and 60, so you're right there. About 50 average, $50,000. Which is a lot of money per
gig.
show. Per show.
Wild.
Yes. Now, obviously, he has the stage of MTV, but you think of just like, listen, Pauly D back in the days when he DJ, he wasn't a good DJ. When he first jumped on the scene, his show was big and he DJ gigs, he didn't really know how to DJ, but he practiced his craft. And now he's a really decent, good DJ now.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the resources to have people teach him how to DJ, so there's that too.
Little John, how much does he make a set?
Little John. Oh, man. Because he's got hits, I'll go 150.
150.
I was going to say probably around 100.
Yeah, you guys would be horrible promoters. He makes between 20 and 40.
Okay. Yeah, no, I got to bring it down a little bit. I'm thinking of like big
JD's
shows,
like $1 million.
I thought Lil Jon was a bigger name, so I was like, okay, maybe a little more, but oh wow.
No, he's about 20, 40, which makes sense for Little John. All right, we just did an interview with Tiesto.
Okay.
This might be up JD's alley here. How much does Tiesto make?
50.
50?
Let's go 70.
$250,000.
What time I switch up? Wait, that much per?
Yes. Tiesto makes $250,000 per set, bro.
In Vegas?
I
Or
think
like just in general,
that's
like
his
festivals?
average,
He's usually doing festivals though. He's not doing like clubs. He's doing like big time things.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, $250.
Wow.
Man, if I could make $250 just extra for a club gig, I'd be fine with it. That is my pandemic regret, is I'm trying to get a side hustle, and I was just thinking, man, 5-year anniversary of this pandemic. I should have just really buckled down, bought the equipment, and just learned how to be a decent DJ. I don't think closing, or maybe closing or opening, not the headline DJ, but that could have made me some extra Skrilla. You know what I mean, JD?
I'm surprised you didn't learn it up until now. Well, I mean, you haven't been practicing now, but like I'm surprised you haven't started doing that.
I know.
Like that hasn't been a part of your hustle.
I feel like I guess I could still learn and maybe in a year be all right. But is there anything during the pandemic you wish you would have learned?
Outside of getting more flexible, I haven't been able to touch my toes. Isn't that weird? Like I wish I just stretched more.
You wish you stretched more?
Yeah. Well, that was my first thought. And then my second thought was learn a new language.
Okay, that one makes sense.
You want to be able to touch your toe.
Yeah, I want to be more flexible.
Why, bro?
I don't know, because I just get jealous whenever I see people like that are really good at yoga and stuff like that.
What the hell is wrong with you? Just walk down the street going home and just seeing people touch their toes. Like, I wish I could do that.
I mean, you saw people like getting their meditation on and stuff like that during the pandemic. I think I'm going to stick with that because you guys are going with that.
Try to touch your toes right now.
I can't. I
Let's see.
literally can't.
I want to see you struggle.
Okay, like That's as far as I can go.
Okay. On the board is a whole year and he didn't learn how to touch his toes.
Okay, I said new language, but then
No, let's go with touching your
overlooking
toes.
that one for touching toes.
What in
I
the
stand
world?
by that because I just wish I got more flexible.
What is that going to do for you, though? Like, where in life does that benefit you?
It's good to be flexible. It's bad if you're like stiff and stuff like that.
Yeah, for your partner, yeah.
Yeah. Why you guys laugh at mine, dude?
That's just random.
That's the way you also phrased it by, I wish I could touch my toes.
Yeah. It's been a goal. I've been
All
struggling.
right. Do you have any other goals in life that you should have probably knocked out the park during that pandemic where you had a year off? You really could have learned how to DJ, learn French, touch your toes strongly on the board.
Don't make me feel stupid, man. Sienna, you too.
It's just funny. It's silly.
Whatever. I hope your hair falls out. Whatever.
Too late. 833-730.
730.
6377. What was your pandemic regret? What do you wish you learned how to do and stretched it out to? All right. Let us know. More with JD up next.
And it's Sienna.
Okay, now we're talking about what's your pandemic regret. 5 years, man. It's crazy how that flew by. 5 years, almost to date. World shut down. And I realized that during that year, we could have did a lot more than just, I don't know, pass out drunk by 10 a.m. Including myself thinking, I want a side job. I want to make extra money. If I would have just buckled down and learned how to DJ, like DJ clubs and all. These DJs make really good money. I respect the art form of DJing. And I can't believe, and JD was just talking to me off the air, why didn't you buy this and why didn't you buy that? You could have bought a starter kit for like $200.
Yeah.
I could have really done that and invested in myself.
I mean, things were on back order back then because I think everybody had the same idea as you to become a DJ.
Yeah, toilet paper, DJ equipment, and water was a hot item during the pandemic. That's my pandemic regret. I should have picked up another kind of way of making some income and DJ these clubs. So we're asking you at
730.
6377. Now, off the air, Sienna, you said you could have been.
I could have been TikTok famous. Shake my damn head, because I downloaded TikTok when the pandemic started, so in 2020, and you see like the influencers like Addison Rae, the D'Amelio sisters, Noah Beck, all they did was renegade and do their little TikTok dances, and now they're rich and just living life. And I really wish I would have done that.
I mean, some of these TikToks that became famous during 2020 were silly and so simple.
So simple. And sometimes I feel like it's not even intentional for people to go viral, but they do.
Yeah.
And then they take whatever they made go viral and run with it, and then they become millionaires.
Yeah.
They weren't even their ideas. Like, they're all the same ideas. Everybody was dancing to Savage, Meg Thee Stallion. I saw WAP was a big one. Blinding Lights, Anaconda.
Yeah, whether it was makeup or dancing, I wish I would have just put myself on TikTok, because who knows what could have happened. I could have been a millionaire by now.
Damn, 5 years. That flew by, man. Everybody was on TikTok and Instagram Live. People were going live. Guys, these DJs were DJing their set. They would put their Cash App. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember when Michelle Obama went into, who was the big DJ?
D-Nice.
D-Nice. She went into his live, and then what was Timbaland doing also?
Oh, Versus. Versus was huge, where they were pitting artists against each other, and you went IG Live.
We could have DJ'd against each other.
I
we could have
know.
battled.
Wow.
JD versus JB.
Way to go, dude.
Another regret. There you go.
I know. We would have had 37 people watching. That would have been crazy. So what's your pandemic regret? What's something you should have done during that year off of life? Looks like we have Carlos and Buckeye tapping in right now. Carlos, what's your pandy regret?
I regret not getting in better shape.
That is a good
man.
one.
That's a great one. And you know, during that first 2 or 3 months, we're just all drunk. But after that, everybody was working in their home gyms. And I remember that's what I started to work on my home gym. And I remember like weights, they were gouging, bro. People were charging like $3-4 a pound.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the go-to was just kind of to snack and sit on your couch versus getting up and working out, because there's nothing to do. You couldn't go to a gym.
Did you put on weight?
I did, unfortunately.
How much?
Only 20 pounds, but still.
Yeah.
What, did you go to the gym after they opened back up?
Oh, no, I was too lazy.
Yeah. He had that pandemic panza. Yeah. What would you go to in the snacks in the pantry? What'd you hit?
Anything with bread.
Anything with bread.
Oh man, that's the most honest thing I've ever heard from somebody.
He put a Hawaiian bread inside a biscuit, inside a tortilla, and called it a day. Damn.
Anything with bread.
Anything with bread.
Free for all, damn.
I know. All right, well, that's strong on the board. Yeah, you wish you would have worked out. You good now? You healthy after 5 years? You back to the weight where you wanted to be?
I still want to lose a little bit more weight, but I'm happy where I'm at now.
Right. When we were locked down, like we were all in the pandemic, how many people you locked down with?
Me and my wife and my newborn son.
Newborn. Okay. Can I ask you a personal question?
Of course.
What about wifey? Did she put on some pounds with you?
Actually, no, she stayed the same way throughout.
Oh, wow. You were the letdown. Okay.
I was just gonna say it, but you beat me.
You got to be quicker than that. Yeah, but you're at fighting weight right now. You're good. You're impressing your wife. Maybe making baby number 2.
Oh, we actually already had baby number 2.
Attaboy. There you go.
Man.
There you go. You drop that weight and drop that seed. All right, my guy. Well, thank you for calling in, bro.
Of course, thank you guys.
All right. My man said carbs. Just straight, would you eat carbs?
That was the funniest thing I've ever heard, dude. Anything with bread is like my whole mood.
What was your go-to in the pantry during pandemic? Wait, where were you? Where were you locked down in?
I was in Boston.
You were in Boston.
Yeah. Man, what was my go-to? I don't know. I think I remember eating a ton of meat, I guess.
Really?
But yeah, anything with bread. Yeah. Sandwiches.
I was part of that whole just alcohol. I had so much liquor. It would be noon and we'd be smashed in my house.
I feel like that's when it was socially acceptable because we all had nothing to do.
No, I was thoroughly bored. With my last show, 3 other members, and 2 of them love working from home. Me and Gina, who had kids too, we wanted to come back into the studio because our kids were driving us crazy. We want to have adult interaction. And that was the beginning of the end when me and my ex-wife, we separated because we were just fighting all the time, arguing. Because that's what happened during the pandemic. A lot of people got divorced.
Right.
He was driving each other crazy. You could only take each other in doses every day together, all day, every day. Oh, man.
I remember sweet treats.
Sweet treats?
Oh, man. I used to have so much dessert.
Yeah, I'm not into this as sweet at
Mine
all.
was chips. I was slamming hot Cheetos, Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah.
Comfort food. Anything that would, like, at the end of the day, it was like, I made it through today. I deserve a sweet treat.
Dude, vodka soda, extra lime, and Doritos was lunch. Oh, so bad.
When you think about it now, you're probably like, ugh.
Yeah.
Anything with bread is awesome.
So what was your pandemic regret? What's something you could have learned? You could have taught yourself, man. Taking more of your calls up next. 833
730
6377. Working out and getting swole on the board.
This is Rachel from Peoria.
Stalker Rachel from Peoria. One of our fave morning messengers. All right, we're talking about pandemic regrets. Any pandemics you regret, Rachel?
No, I don't. I started my own business. I had a lot of family time. For me, it was great.
I do love all the family time I had. I do like that whole year. I literally spent almost every waking hour with my kids. And at that point, Cruz was 5 and Gia was like 3.
That wouldn't drive you insane?
It did a little bit, but I love being a dad. So that's the summer where literally I got the keys to my house 2 weeks before they shut the world down. And we had a pool. So that summer, the kids learned how to swim.
Yeah.
Like we were in the pool every day. So what do you have to do? I actually had a business called Bearded Lads where I sold bearded oils. Remember that, Rachel?
Yes, I do.
And it shut down because, we had like a brick and mortar kind of spot and obviously people couldn't go out anymore. So I had to shut my business down. So I feel for people that had to close down with business. But you made money. What business did you get into?
Paparazzi jewelry.
Paparazzi jewelry.
What is that?
It's costume jewelry, $5 a piece. I mean, it looked nice. Some pieces, not so. But, hey, they were beautiful to sell to people.
So you make some nice little change off that.
Yeah, you can.
I guess we're saying pandemic regret, and you don't regret anything. You got to spend time with your kids and sell fake-ass jewelry.
Yeah, basically.
And I'll point this out. It kind of depends where you were during the pandemic because in Arizona, I was in Boston during the pandemic. You guys didn't have COVID out here. You guys were just out in Old Town, just thriving away. Whereas like we were on true lockdown.
Yeah.
Because every time I tapped in with all of my friends over here, they were like, yeah, we're going to Old Town, blah, blah. I'm like, you get to go outside?
Yeah, it was very lenient because during the pandemic, I was here and then also going to California where we were living at the time. time. California, complete lockdown.
Yeah.
Masks, everything. Here, same thing. I'm like, you guys are going out to Old Town,
Oh, yeah.
downtown, these clubs? What the hell?
Yeah, they did not care out here. And I was one of the people that like, nah, I'm not going out. I stood inside. I did not do any of that secret knock on the back door of these clubs. And yeah, they were open here.
Yeah, they were like, Arizona has the most cases, and you guys were literally just on fire.
Yeah, it didn't exist here.
Yeah.
It's like, look at them go.
I regret not going out.
Now that you think about it, you're already drinking.
I know. Drink with my friends. Oh, God. All right. Well, Rachel, you want the pandemic back from what I hear.
No, I don't.
That's what Rachel said. She wants the quademic.
Because I love my job. Last time I worked at indoor water park, and we had to shut down.
All right. And you work now where?
At Independence High School.
That's right. Big shout to Independence High.
You got a real one.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff.
I love
Well, you don't care about our topic. We appreciate that. And you excel during the pandemic.
it. I did.
Your regret that it's not back.
No, I never said that.
Okay.
Don't put words in my mouth, Joey.
Rachel, we love you. Thank you for chiming on in.
All right, love you too. Bye.
Bye. That's true, JD. They really did not care out here in AZ. Old Town and downtown was cracking.
Yeah, the first time I got COVID was when I came here.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And all my friends were like, don't go there, don't go. So I guess my regret was coming here during the pandemic.
I feel like 8 new clubs opened up during the pandemic.
I know. People don't have their regrets because they open new clubs.
What the hell?
Yeah, and remember they had the things on the outside where you couldn't see how many people were inside as if that would matter and the line wasn't just out the door?
Yeah.